Hey everyone! Welcome to the first episode of Minecraft Music History Edition. This is a brand new channel where I take on the challenge of beating Minecraft while sharing stories and lessons from music history. If you love gaming and learning at the same time, you're in the right place. Every block I place, every mob I fight, will explore the lives of the greatest composers and the music that shaped the world. Today, we're starting with Ludwig van Beethoven, one of the most legendary figures in classical music. His life was a blend of tragedy and triumph, and his music? It's powerful, emotional, and revolutionary. Let's talk about everything you need to know about him. Beethoven was born in December 1770 in Bonn, Germany. His father, Johann, was a court musician and a harsh taskmaster. Johann wanted Beethoven to become the next Mozart, so he forced him into long, intense practice sessions. Sometimes, he would wake young Beethoven in the middle of the night just to make him play. Despite the grueling schedule, Beethoven's talent was undeniable. By his early teens, he was already composing and performing, and people began to notice his genius. In 1792, he moved to Vienna, the musical capital of the world, to study under Joseph Haydn. That move was a turning point. Vienna would become his home, and he would soon become one of its greatest composers. Beethoven started his career firmly rooted in the classical tradition, much like Mozart and Haydn. But from the beginning, he had a unique voice. His first symphony, composed in 1800, followed the rules of the time but with bold twists that hinted at his growing ambition. Then came his third symphony, known as the Eroica. It was initially dedicated to Napoleon Bonaparte, whom Beethoven admired as a symbol of freedom and revolution. However, when Napoleon declared himself emperor, Beethoven was so disgusted that he scratched out the dedication with such force, he tore the paper. The Eroica marked a new era. It was longer, more dramatic, and deeply emotional, changing what people thought a symphony could be. One of the most incredible parts of Beethoven's story is his battle with deafness. Imagine being one of the greatest composers in history and losing your hearing. That's exactly what happened. He first noticed signs of hearing loss in his late 20s, and by the time he was in his 40s, he was almost completely deaf. This was a devastating blow, and in 1802, he wrote a personal letter known as the Heiligenstadt Testament, expressing his despair. He even considered ending his life, but ultimately resolved to keep composing. And thank goodness he did. His struggle with deafness didn't stop him. It fueled his creativity. His Fifth Symphony, with its iconic dramatic opening, is often interpreted as fate knocking at the door. It's a musical journey from darkness to light, from struggle to victory. Beethoven was telling us that no matter how hard life gets, you can fight back. His Ninth Symphony is another masterpiece that broke all the rules. It was the first symphony to include a chorus, and the final movement, the Ode to Joy, is a triumphant celebration of unity and brotherhood. Beethoven was completely deaf when he wrote it. When the symphony premiered in 1824, he stood on stage conducting, but he couldn't hear the thunderous applause behind him. Someone had to turn him around so he could see the audience's reaction. Imagine that moment. Deaf, but still shaping sound and changing the world. Beethoven's piano sonatas are equally groundbreaking. One of the most famous is the Moonlight Sonata. Its haunting first movement is dark, almost funereal, but by the time you reach the final movement, it's a storm of passion and intensity. He wrote 32 sonatas, each one pushing the boundaries of what the piano could express. They weren't just technical exercises, they were emotional journeys told through sound. As a person, Beethoven was complicated. He was known for his fiery temper and stubbornness. He lived in messy apartments, often covered in papers and manuscripts. He was obsessive about his work, revising pieces endlessly until they were exactly how he wanted. That perfectionism could frustrate those around him, but it's part of why his music is so timeless. Beethoven died in 1827 at the age of 56. More than 20,000 people attended his funeral, a testament to how deeply his music had touched the world. His influence on music is enormous. Without Beethoven, the Romantic era might have been very different. Composers like Schubert, Brahms, and even modern film score composers have drawn inspiration from his work. So, what can we learn from Beethoven? His story is a powerful reminder that no obstacle is insurmountable. He faced the ultimate challenge for a musician, deafness, and still created some of the most profound music ever written. His life teaches us about resilience, passion, and the power of creativity. Thanks for watching.